So I mixed things up. I flipped the script a bit. So because I was getting all that attention, I started talking to all the stewards and stewardesses. I started getting extra deliveries from first class of champagne. And I was thinking, this is quite good. Because I created that moment, good things happened. So I thought, let's see if I can repeat it again. My next flight, got on the plane, tried the same thing. I said, if you can guess my seat number, this time I'll give you $1. They guessed the number wrong. Didn't get it at all. But again, it created that spectacle, that little moment where everyone's so bored they just want to sit down on the plane, some English guy holding up the queue, but what's going on? This time, I went to the back of the plane, the stewardess came up to me. I said, listen, you didn't win, all right? I can't give you the $1. I'm really sorry about this. She said, no, she goes, I just wondered if you could help me. I guess the reason she came up to me is because we'd had that bit of conversation before, so therefore I was a bit more approachable. She moved me down 3 seats, so I had the whole row to myself, which was pretty good for an 11-hour flight. Again, she went to first class, got free champagne, all this for helping her out. But really, the opportunity was created by creating that little moment with that one little golden line. See if you can guess my seat number. So, this is a conversation hack. It's something you can steal and you can use yourself. Go and try it out, see what happens with that. Several years ago, I was driving along with my girlfriend at the time. It wasn't a great relationship, unfortunately. And I was in the passenger seat, which is always bad when you're a guy and the girl's driving. And it was one of those hot, sticky days, and we just hit snarl upper traffic. And I remember I needed to get to this party in time, and we were running late. And I turned to her and I said the golden line, which is not the best line you can ever say, but I said, do you know what? It'd be quicker if I walked. She went mental. And I was like, hang on a minute. Now, one girlfriend later, and a few years later, I'm driving along again, and I'm in a similar situation. And I thought, oh, what was that line I used before? We're in traffic again. It's really, there's a lot of frustration. I wonder if I bust out that line again. Do you know what? It'd be quicker if I walked. And I waited, and sure enough, she went even more mental. And this is when I started to get excited for the first time about this, because I started to see these patterns. Now, again, try this out. Ironically, a few weeks ago, I was traveling with my girlfriend, at the time, still the same one. But I was traveling with my girlfriend, and I'm driving. We hit traffic. I'm driving. And I turned to her and say, do you know what? It'd be quicker if I walked. And she still went mental. So I'm either picking really, but this is it. It's pushing people's buttons, and it's pushing people's buttons very effectively and very quickly through your use of language. It's basically using language as powerfully as you can. Really, what persuasion is the ability to get people to comply with you. In other words, to have them do something for you. You know if you're persuading somebody because they're doing something for you. They're complying with your wishes. And what I found is we can all see the same thing, but from different perspectives. I've spoken about this before, but if we have a glass of water here, which is happily at my side, somebody might say, the glass is half full. You'd probably say the glass is half full. You're around your mother-in-law's. She's just made you a nice cup of soup. The glass is half full. But if we change the perspective and put it somewhere else, maybe in the desert, now the glass is half empty. So persuasion is really about flipping the context of how people see the world. And there's 3 parameters you can do to flip the script for people. 3 levers you have at your disposal. The first is the emotions. Now what's something really bad? Let's say you're a Nancy. That's pretty bad, isn't it? So if you're very emotional about being a Nancy, yay, I'm a Nancy, way! You can maybe say, well, have you considered joining the Nancy party? Look, they're all having a great time. Now, I'm not saying a lot of people will, because we've got the context now, the history's changed. But we can change people's emotions. If we can do that, we can flip how they feel. So that's what I did with the stewardess. I created a spike of emotion, and all of a sudden created opportunity in my life. Second thing we can do, we can change the context. Hey, I'm a Nazi, but I am also a Nazi, and we're in Germany in 1939. Whee! So in that context, it's okay to be a Nazi. Well, not if you're the rest of the world, but if the context has changed, the situation has changed. Lastly, we can change the timeline. Hey, I'm a Nazi. Oh no, I hate you. That's true, but in the future we might be friends. Yes, this is true. So we can change the context, we can change the emotion, and we can change the timelines.